Call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. I want to acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the land on which we are meeting is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. As a council and a municipality, we will continue to work on moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'll ask for a motion for the adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held at City Hall on May 25th, 2026 be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Nichols, seconded by Councillor Meyer. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. We have no delegations this evening. I will open public hearing for a request for variation at PC 37-26, High Tech Industries 463-6016 Manitoba Limited. I'll ask if there is anyone here to speak in favor of this application. If you just want to come to the mic and state your first and last name for the record, please.
I'm Jeff Weeb from High Tech Industries.
Thank you. Did you want to make a statement, Mr. Weeb, or just answer questions that we have?
I just came here to answer questions.
Okay. Does anyone have questions for Mr. Weeb on this? Okay, you can sit for now. We might have more. Thank you. I'll ask if anyone else is here to speak in favor of this application. I'll ask if anyone is here to speak against this application. Again, anyone here to speak against the application? And I'll ask if anyone is here who just has questions about this application. Okay, just make sure that no one has questions for Mr. Weeb before we close. Okay, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Worship. Be it resolved, and I so move that the public hearing for variation PC 37-26 for High Tech Industries 463-6016 Manitoba Limited, 1006th Avenue Northeast, now be closed.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Nichols. All those in favor? And that's carried. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Worship. Council, in front of you, a request for variation, file number PC 37-26. As it indicates, the applicant wishes to vary the side yard requirement of 4.6 meters down to 2 meters. High Tech Industries and 463-6016 Manitoba Limited are applying for that variation order, and the rationale is the applicant would like to build an addition off to the existing the building that they currently have there now. The building is in an M2 heavy industrial zone. That's why it does need the requirement, but there is an existing structure there currently. The application has been circulated to various city departments. There have been no concerns, and public notices have been sent to all property owners within a 100-meter radius, and as you can see, there have been no objections. With that said, it's the administrative recommendation, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the variation request of High Tech Industries to vary the side yard requirement of 4.6 meters down to 2 meters at the property known as 1006th Avenue Northeast, which is legally described as Lot 1, Block 3, Plan 1777 in the parish of Portage la Prairie.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Nichols. Any questions or comments from anyone? Pretty straightforward.
Yes.
All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll now open public hearing request for variation PC 38-26 Seymour Pacific Developments 1801-1825 Park Drive. I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak in favor of this application. If you'd like to state your first and last name for the record, please.
Brad McGregor, Seymour Pacific Developments and Broad Street Properties.
Thank you. Did you want to make a statement?
Mostly here to just answer questions, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Worship, and thank you, and I'm sorry, your name was?
Brad.
Brad, sorry, Mr.
McGregor.
Mr. McGregor, thanks, Mr. McGregor. Sorry for that. Thank you, first of all, for coming, as we always encourage anybody that's requesting a request for a variation or a conditional use to be present in case there are some questions, as it can have an effect on council's decision. That said, the first question I have is the obvious one that's in the report, and I know that I'll be asking the fire department the same question, but there is a concern that there's no other, that the fire department has stated that they need additional spaces for turnaround purposes. I mean, have you addressed that at all? Have you had the conversation with the fire department? Has that been resolved?
Yeah, so we did get those comments back from the planning district at the end of May there, and I know our team worked on revising the plan to accommodate fire truck turnaround. This is something we do quite commonly. I did forward it to Mike at the planning district, but I understand he's away, so I'm not quite sure if it's made its way through back to the fire department yet to see if it was acceptable or not. But we do have an option A to kind of keep it with the one access or main access onto Park Drive there, and we can continue those discussions to resolve it as needed.
I don't know if this is the appropriate time to ask it, Your Worship, but if we could maybe confirm with the planning district. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable in completely moving forward unless we've already had agreement on all parties, but is this the time that we should ask the fire department, or would we wait till after the public hearing?
No, we can ask now.
Okay. So through Your Worship, then to Deputy Fire Chief Mr. Thompson, can you tell us kind of maybe where the fire department is at with this currently?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, the one concern that we had in speaking with the main entrance, I guess, which is on Park Drive. Just looking at the entrance that you use currently right now for Gate 1, is that a possibility of adding that second entrance on 18th Street? For emergency purposes only, we could gate out and lose maybe 4 parking spots for that?
Yeah, I mean, it would be the possibility there. Yeah, with the plan that we sent back to the planning district is slightly revised, not much different. There's a little bit better turnaround radius is on that sharp corner there, kind of in that middle island. There to allow a better circulation to come back out as a kind of more of a straight shot back out to that main drive aisle there. But yeah, that would be the other alternative if emergency access is 100% needed. We're trying to balance the need for parking, understanding that this is, there's no street parking in the area and there's already variances for the parking, trying to maximize the amount of parking, but obviously understand that the fire circulation is critical as well.
Mr. Thompson, can you just move the mic closer to you, please? Thank
Sure.
you.
Can you hear me now? That's good. Okay.
So would I assume that would be some type of a resolution?
Yeah, could I maybe ask Mr. Gessel if you received those plans since we've seen this report, the changes?
Quite possibly we have, but I did not receive them as I wasn't CC'd in the email. I believe they went directly to the senior building inspector, which is Mr. Manster, and he was away today. So of course, speaking of that, we don't have access directly to his email. Something we can review tomorrow for sure, but there was discussions between ourselves, the fire department and Seymour Pacific about possibly figuring out an alternative solution to having fire truck access, such as Mr. Thompson said regarding 18th Street. We were thinking possibly temporary access, losing maybe 4 spots there.
I believe so. Yeah, that would be
so that we could have 2
significant.
kind of sections you could come into an emergency purpose. So if they had to access fire from, say, the east or southeast side, at least they could access it directly through their straight shot instead of coming in the front and trying to coordinate 2 trucks, right? So it doesn't really affect the variation that they're applying for at this point. The variation would be affected by 4 spots maximum, and that is for emergency purposes.
So right now, what we're asking for is from 312 to 260, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying if there is 4. Are we talking about 4 additional spots? So then it would come back to the table again for another.
We've already included kind of a little bit of an extra grace in that number, that 260.
Yeah.
So right now we're probably at around 264. So an additional 4 slots. We've kind of given ourselves a little bit of a buffer as a worst case scenario if we did need to lose 4 spots for emergency access, or just as we've kind of been going through coordinating items to clean the site up, start the construction, things have popped up, the need for transformers, that kind of thing, garbage enclosures, which is kind of the main reason for the request for the variance.
So I guess just to clarify, and the reason it's coming here is the discussion was it could have been a minor in-house, but then when we found about the hydro transformers, possible emergency, things that were taken into consideration, it was discussed amongst Mr. Manister and Seymour developer that it is best, let's reduce it with a variation to the lowest we can, which would be basically 1.25 spots instead of 1.5 per unit, and go that route instead of having to do a minor and then actually apply for a variation again later once we find out the total.
Okay. Gotcha. Councillor Nichols?
Thank you, Worship. I think that was explained. I just
Okay.
wondered the originality of this variance why we were there, and I think that between hydro and is a reason for this, and then obviously you had the discussions in terms of the exit piece for the fire hall. So the original piece was for garbage and electrical transformer pieces.
Yeah, garbage
Okay.
enclosures, amenity area for the tenants there, so they've got outdoor public space or communal space, and the transformers would be the main 3 items, and then with the access would be an additional one that's
Yeah.
we're aware of.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. McGregor.
perfect.
Thank you.
Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Your Worship. So just to clarify, that what I hear is reassurances that the developer's prepared to work with both planning and the fire department to address mutual concerns.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. McGregor? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll ask if there is anyone else here to speak in favor of this application. I will ask if there is anyone here to speak against this application. Again, anyone here to speak against the application? And if there is just anyone here to have questions about the application? Okay, everybody comfortable? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Worship. Be it resolved, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie, oh, I apologize. Let's go to this one. There we go. Be it resolved, and I so move that the public hearing for variation PC 38-26 for Seymour Pacific Developments Limited, 1801 to 1825 Park Drive, now be closed.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Nichols. All those in favor? And that is carried. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council, in front of you, you'll see the report to Council that the applicant had just spoke to. PC file number PC 38-26, a request for variation. And the issue is to vary the minimum required parking stalls of 312 down to 260 in a C3 Avenue commercial zone. The site plan and the sketch are there for your reference. And the background, as we heard, is that the applicant would like to vary the minimum required parking stalls of 312, which currently is the bylaw at 1.5, down to 260, which would turn it down to 1.25 in a C3 Avenue commercial zone. The application has been circulated to the various city departments with concerns about lack of street parking, but acknowledges there's no other alternative. The fire department has stated they need additional spaces for turnaround purposes. Other than that, there was no other concerns. Public notices have been sent to all property owners, and as you can see, there's been no public concern as well. So it's the administrative recommendation, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the variation request of Seymour Pacific Developments Limited to vary the minimum required parking stalls of 312 down to 260 at the property known as 1801, 1825 Park Drive, which is legally described as Lot 1 and 2, Block 1, Plan 1810 in the parish of Portage la Prairie.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Nichols. Any questions or comments? Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Worship. Just a couple of quick questions through your worship to Mr. Gessel from the Planning District. The street, where's our map there for a second? I guess it's Park Drive going towards Walmart there. What's the parking status there now? What is the actual parking bylaw? Is there any parking allowed at all on that street?
Maybe.
At this point, there really isn't.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I haven't seen any no parking signs, but technically there shouldn't be anybody parking on the street. But that's really out of my jurisdiction, so
Okay.
maybe I'll defer that to operations.
Yeah, Ms. Lequi-Jobin, did you want to comment?
Thank you, Your Worship.
Yes, we don't have any no parking signs up, but it is in the bylaw that there is no parking on that street.
Can I ask why? Like, I just don't know how streets work very well, so, yeah.
I think it wasn't made with a parking lane.
Oh,
It just has like a shoulder, but not a full lane width there.
gotcha. Okay.
Sorry,
Councillor
I
Doyle.
was going to just carry on the back.
Oh, are you still on the
Yeah,
same? 'Kay,
still
go
on-
ahead.
still
Yeah,
on the same
Councillor
thing.
Meyer.
So just in addition to that, first of all, I have speaking from my chair, I have no concerns reducing the parking stalls based on there's really no commercial business around there, so the parking would be residential only. And with the no parking on that Park Avenue is certainly something that I can support. I'm satisfied, Council, that the applicant would work with the fire department and the planning district to satisfy any mutual concerns. So for that very reason, I would support this recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Doyle?
Thank you, Your Worship, and through Your Worship to operations. Similar question to Councillor Myers, but also to include 18th Street Northwest. Same question with regards to the parking. Is that a designated no parking zone as well?
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah, now that there is things going up there, we will put some no parking signs up at some point, but when it was just empty lots, it wasn't really an issue.
okay. So all parking for this property would have to remain inside of this property.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else? Just before, I just have to say I'm happy to see this variation on the table. Happy to hear the developer and the planning district and the fire department working together, and we'd like to see these units get on the market sometime soon. So, yeah, excellent. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee has no report.
Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has no report.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Community Services Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. Waterworks Committee has no report.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. Transportation has nothing to report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. We have no deferred business this evening. We'll move right into new business with the April building reports. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I think as Council has heard me say many times, to ad infinitum, this is probably one of my favorite parts of being able to bring a report to this Council. And of course, you're going to see the building permit report for the city and the RM separately, but as usual, I draw your attention to the combined total as we are a regional planning district and we work closely together. So when you do look at it, I mean, we are 5 months into the year. You're going to see overall that permits are maybe down slightly, but you're going to see that the values have certainly doubled. The breakdown on that, you're going to see that the single housing starts and permits have gone up, as well as the new double or your R2 or R2 housing has gone up as well in the number of permits. And then, of course, you're also going to see that the repair permits continue. Again, it's important. People are investing back into their homes, sign of a healthy community, and it's really good to see that as well. In addition to that, they are actually checking to make sure that they have permits. or need permits. On the commercial side, and the new and repair pattern continues. The permits are down just a touch there, but the pattern carries on there. Industrial side, you're going to see a couple of new permits for the industrial portion, and institution, you're going to see $1.5 million in permits for repair as well. I won't comment on farm buildings, as those are primarily in the RM, but then onto our cottage industries, you're going to see that RTMs, or ready to move houses, are considerably up over there where they were last year at this time, and in addition to moving those RTMs around as well is up too. So it's a very positive report. You'll see that, again, the permits are down slightly, but the total dollar value is up. And I just want to, again, congratulate the planning district for the work that they've done. And again, we only see 50 permits, but we're still working on all of the things from the previous ones. So I know they're a busy office right now, but please, one more reminder that if you are doing a summer project of any type, regardless of what it is, you're adding on a deck, changing out windows, make sure that your contractor has the permits available, which they typically will. But if you're doing the work on the DIY, make sure you give them a quick phone call, and they will tell you whether you need a permit or not. Always better to ask forgiveness. Ask forgiveness. Always better to get permission than to ask forgiveness. Thank you for that. Or sorry for that misnomer. You know what I meant. Thank you.
Thank you. And call before you dig.
Call before you dig.
Okay, excellent. No items of old business, so we will adjourn council at 6:21 p.m. and move right into committee. We'll call committee to order at 6:21 p.m. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee has no report per se of committee, but I do want to report on a couple of things that I have participated in since our last meeting. A lot of us at council met with the PCI students. I was there as well, and I always enjoy that, to hear what young people are thinking about our community. And it was a great interchange of ideas, and some of them just came for the pizza, which is fine, but I enjoyed that day, and I thank our youth councillor for setting that up. I attended the 2 flag raising ceremonies that in front of City Hall. Of course, our Filipino community had a beautiful flag raising ceremony at City Hall, as well as Pride Portage. We had a flag raising there, so pleased to be there. We were invited by the chamber, Portage Chamber and the Rotary, for a special luncheon, and we got to hear Sandy Schindelman talk about rural economic development, and he has very strong views on it. And at the same, is it okay to talk about the announcement he made there? You're the Rotary president. I don't want to scoop you there, but no. All right. Well, then he announced his company was taking the legacy project for our Rotary project, of course. So it's $50,000. Great announcement by Mr. Schindelman. So thank him. We had also the same day came back and had a proclamation by Mayor Knox on elder abuse and the importance of being cognizant of the importance that we don't want to. We want to highlight that this goes on, and we want to stop it. That elder abuse is something that is just not acceptable, and it was great that the mayor proclaimed that with service for seniors. I do want to just comment. Of course, we just today got back from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. The first thing I want to do is I want to thank council for the support that I've been able to get back on the board for a 2-year term from Manitoba. That is not possible without council, and your support means a lot to me, and to be back there. And I certainly used the opportunity because after a few years on the board, you get to come into certain meetings. I had the opportunity to meet Minister Gregor Robertson, the Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, and really pressed the importance of small communities and water, wastewater. We need a separate fund so that we can attack the backlog, especially here in Manitoba, like communities like Portage la Prairie. And simpler application form, all the things that FCM is really pushing for right now on this file. So I was great. I had an opportunity to talk to him directly, and I also had the opportunity to talk to the conservative critic, Mr. Scott Atchison, and raise the exact same issues with him. And I must say, the tone this year of the conservative opposition was better in terms of working with municipalities. from last year. It was a lot more conciliatory and saying, yes, you are a very important order of government. We're going to build Canada. So that was really good to hear, and I commend him. He came in and he took it that last year was not a good message for municipalities. So that was sort of the thing. And also I'm pleased that the Ag Research Station resolution passed. 98% support. Of course, Portage la Prairie has one, so now this gives FCM the advocacy and the mandate to really push to try to restore those cuts. But also, second part of the resolution was to say, you know, let's pause these cuts and look at a strategic plan of what these research stations do in terms of science, food security, and of course employment, local employment. So the resolution passed overwhelmingly, and I spoke to a number of people across Canada who have these stations, and everybody's pretty excited to stay together and keep pushing this with the federal government. The last thing I'll report on is, of course, I know that the mayor will not talk about this because she's a very, she doesn't want to talk about herself, but I am so excited that Mayor Knox won the Excellence in Municipal Leadership Award. It was one awarded in Canada. Yeah, let's hear it for her. And this council nominated her, and it's so, and I know maybe it's about yourself you don't want to talk about, but I'll tell you something about our community, what it means for Portage la Prairie, and that you can get behind.
Yep.
And to have Portage la Prairie on the big stage with all those municipalities across Canada and our mayor standing up there getting this leadership award, you know, and when you read and it was presented by our vice president, or president of AMM, Kathy Valentino. I think that has a special significance too. So definitely for the work on bail reform, women, advancing women in politics, our work with Aboriginal and Indigenous culture, it was just great to see when they read the reason that Mayor Knox got that award. So I'm just thrilled. I was thrilled to be there. I think it's something, you know, that for Portage la Prairie, it puts us right on the map across Canada. So congratulations, Mayor Knox. You really are showing leadership as mayor, and I'm proud to be part of a council that you're the mayor of. So that's my report.
Thank you. I will respond to that right now. I was humbled to receive this award, and I really appreciate being nominated by this council. I do believe, you know, although I was the one standing on the stage, this award really goes to all of us because it's about who we are as a community, not only around this council table, but our staff and our team and the partners that we have throughout the community that work with us. I think Portage la Prairie is doing a good job of not only working for ourselves in our community and our region, but pushing forward priorities for citizens across Canada, such as bail reform. And so I am grateful for being recognized, and I thank you for those there who supported me. And we will use this in any way we can to continue to move Portage la Prairie forward even more. So thank you. Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. It is time for the 2025 Portage la Prairie Regional Library Annual Report. And through Your Worship, I would like to call upon Michaela Goddard and Lita McSimic.
You have to speak into the microphone, I'm afraid.
How's
yeah.
that? Is that better?
That's perfect, yeah.
Thank you for having us and listening to the things that are happening at the library. We are grateful for the support we get here, and we couldn't serve the community without that. The last time I was here in Chambers was about 14 years ago when Ryan and Wayne Wall were being formally inducted, whatever you call that, into council. And it was so hot in here, and I'd given blood that day. And I was like, oh, I need air. And I walk out there, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor, and paramedics are like, are you okay? So I'm not doing that today, just letting you know.
I'm glad you could get past that trauma and come back in.
It wasn't easy,
Yeah,
but yes, thank you for recognizing that. Okay, as chair of the library, I am delighted with the staff we have, Michaela is wonderful. She came on in December of 2025, doing an excellent job. We have great staff as well. Because the library, and I don't know if you're going to touch on this too, but because the library is kind of the only public bathrooms downtown, access to computers for people to use, a cool spot in the summer, a warm spot in the winter, it causes some challenges, as you can imagine. So it's something that we're working on, and we are so grateful for the community service officers. They've been so excellent. And they come around regularly, and when called, they are just there as needed. One of the other things I just wanted to talk about was our book sale, which is our biggest fundraiser. And a funny story about that is years ago when our youngest son was, well, he's still an avid reader, but we had to cut our vacation short by 1 day so he could get there for the opening day of the book sale. Yeah, that's what we do for the library. I love seeing you guys in the library, and I know that some of you have read to the kids, and it's been very positively, they've all enjoyed that, so thank you. So I'm going to turn it over to Michaela, and again, thank you so much for the support in finances and in just feeling like you are behind us at the library.
Just before you sit down, I just want you, I'll give you another positive about this room. Do you know about this?
I do.
Yes, where your husband is responsible for that crest. So very nice.
That's quite a few years ago now, isn't it?
Yeah. Very nice.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry my voice is a little scratchy, so if you don't understand what I'm saying, just let me know. So as Lita said, I came in as the director in December 2025, so I can't actually claim that I did anything for this other than write the report. But I do want to highlight all the great work that our staff and our team's done in 2025. So every year we do the snapshot, and on the whole, everything has increased. So we've had more visitors to the library, more memberships, more participants in our programming, and more circulation of our books, whether it's in the library and in our community or sending our books out through interlibrary loans. So all of that is kind of strengthening the library system, not only in Manitoba, but across Canada, and we all really appreciate that because it gives us the ability to pull books for anyone from anywhere across Canada. So we also, one of the things to bring up since it is summertime now is we had 231 kids participate in our TD summer reading program last summer. So that's always a really popular program, and it encourages children to read over the summer and be involved in those literacy activities to try and lessen the gap that happens over the summer. So early literacy is really important for every literacy in general, but early literacy is really important, and usually we see a decline in literacy over the summer when they're not exposed to things regularly. So this program encourages them to read and do those kinds of activities to try and help them stay ahead for their school year. So we're anticipating the same number or hopefully more this year, and we're just starting to plan that now. If we could go to, we'll skip forward a little bit just because I'm not going to read to you all since I know that you can all read. So if we go into our collection overview, you can see that we have quite a substantial collection. We're one of the largest libraries outside of Winnipeg in Manitoba. And so we have over 20,000 books for adult fiction, and that's growing. And that's 13,000 books for adult nonfiction. And each section is continuing to grow, especially this year since I get to buy the books. So lots of them are getting bought. But we have a lot of different formats, and that we've noticed that that's very helpful for a lot of our patrons because they have print disabilities. Maybe they need different equipment to listen to books and to stay engaged. So we really appreciate that. On the next page, we've got our most popular items. If you're curious to see if you're reading what the trends are. And the Berenstain Bears still tops the charts for the junior rankings, as it has for, I want to say, 15 years, possibly more. Some of the updates that we did over the past year. So in the next slide is we had all of our computers updated to Windows 10, or no, sorry, we saw the end of Windows 10, we saw all of our computers updated. So that was the public-facing computers, where we have 6 stations, as well as our print stations, and then all of our staff. So after some tech troubles that were solved, we want to do a shout out to Bite Me Computers because he's solved all of our tech problems in a very timely manner, which we really appreciate. The next few slides, we've just got pictures and some of the highlights of us in the news. We love a good photo op at the library, but we also really appreciate the coverage from the local media to help get the word out about different programs. As I mentioned, we had the 231 kids that took part in the TD summer reading. And over the year, we created over 145 different kinds of crafts. So as much as that kind of sounds like arts and crafts in kindergarten, it's really important for the community to have a place to get together to do things for free and to just explore hobbies and meet new people. We find that's really popular in all of our ages of programming, whether it's children, adults, seniors, you name it. As you can see, so Sharon wasn't on the last page. Sharon isn't here. She was the interim director while I was on maternity leave, and she did a wonderful job running everything shorthanded as well. So if you're interested in looking at the programs that everyone ran over the year, that's the next couple slides, but I would like to just move towards our financials, since I know everyone's always interested in the money part of it. So the one thing, the big thing that we got last year was a grant from the Community Foundation, which we're so thankful for. It's enabling us to do renovations of our multi-purpose room, which is the room that we run most of our programs in. We're able to rent out to community, and it hasn't been updated, to my knowledge, since it became a library. So the carpet was older than I was and needed some love. So we received $57,000 from the Community Foundation, and the renovations are taking place as we speak. So we're very excited to reveal that when that's open. And then overall, we finished our financial audit this year. Comparatively, we have substantially lower expenses than we did last year. So it looks odd, to say the least. But the big difference between 2024 and 2025 expenses was that we had put a bit of a pause on book purchasing while I was on maternity leave, because we were going to do a collection assessment, which is something to see what collections are moving, what collections need development, and what collections are lacking. So the book purchasing wasn't up as high as it normally was. And then we also were running with 2.5 staff down. So myself and our operations manager were on maternity leave all year, and we weren't replaced. So our staff stepped in, and they split up our roles and managed to keep the library afloat running without us, which we really appreciate, because we were not in a state to help with that. But so the big difference, we had $62,000 in excess this year, and that was largely due to an underspend on our salaries. So we are not making money, just to be clear. That was due to the personnel shortages. And we're using that money right now, as Lita mentioned, to address some of our security concerns at the library. So trying to make it a welcoming space for everyone. We've gotten new security cameras, which help to just identify people that are coming in that aren't using the library appropriately. So we're able to follow up on that as if we need to. And we're also getting some locks on the bathroom doors, again, to address some of the concerns we're having for staff and patrons. When we do have kind of unfettered access to the bathroom, we're seeing more and more incidents where we're having to call on the community safety officers or on the RCMP. So we're hoping that those changes will kind of eliminate or at least reduce the incidents that we're having at the library, and the rest of the time will be dedicated to just books and more fun things, less serious things. I know that was a really quick run through of everything. If you do have a chance to look through, our graphic designer would love it if you read the whole thing, because she did a great job. But does anyone have any questions for me? And I will answer them as best I can.
Yes, I have a question just on the safety side of things. And so I just think about your library hours. I would love for you to provide us with the library hours compared to our CSO hours. I'm just I'm curious about that, because I know Saturdays you're open. We don't have CSOs, so.
Yeah, I think that's the only time that we aren't covered by the CSOs now that they've extended their hours. Their initial hours definitely didn't have coverage, because we are open from 10 till 5 on Tuesday. Wednesday is from 10 till 8. Same with Thursday. Friday is till 7, and then Saturday is 9 to 4. So I know it's quite varied, but right now the CSOs do cover the whole weekday, and we do really appreciate it. They've started just coming in, just check, which usually they have impeccable timing actually, and they've always been very quick to respond. So a lot of the situations we've had have really de-escalated quite quickly with that, which I really appreciate.
Great. Councillor Doyle, did you have a question?
Yeah. Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you for the presentation. I just had a question about how you track your visitors. Is that based on card scans and computer logins, or is that people through the door?
That's door count, yeah.
Door count, okay.
We do have statistics too, like all of our circulation statistics and things like that are for, that's based on checkouts or computer usage and that sort of thing. But the overall visits that we had was door count.
Okay. And then for something like your book sale, does it strictly come from your inventory, or do you take donations?
We do take donations, and
Okay.
it is from our inventory. So things that we weed out of our collection because they're either no longer relevant, we got newer copies donated, things like that. Those will go into the book sale. And we also get a lot of donations throughout the year, which we are very thankful for the community. But oftentimes we get, people are cleaning out their house or they're downsizing or whatever, and they come and give us all their books, which is sometimes great and sometimes a lot.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I've read one book on the most popular books. So,
Good.
So I could
So you're
I could
trendy.
donate it. Probably. Do you know which one? I don't know which one. Atomic Habits is what I heard. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry,
Oh.
Councillor Massey.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. I don't have a question. I saw this as a board member, but I do want to say to both of you, thank you for your service. Lita and I have gone back before I was on council as citizen reps for the city, and now you're chair, and it's just been a pleasure working with you, Lita. You have this style that you seem to get your way and just embracing everybody. She does it very subtly, but it's just...
It's because she brings.
It's a
baked-
compliment.
She brings cookies.
Brings baked
She
goods.
brings baked goods.
It does help.
It's amazing. But no, I appreciated our relationship, Lita, on the board.
Yeah.
And Michaela, I know you've been on not too long, but it's great to have you on board. And I know you're looking at some changes that always to try to improve the library. So I really have enjoyed being on there on behalf of the city. And so keep up the good work. It's such an important part of our community. And I see when I go to board meetings there and I see people in there and what it means. I had one individual pull me aside, actually, just asked me, what are you doing here? And I said, I have a meeting here. And he said, I just want you to know this library is like a home for me. And so, that hit home with me as well. So thank you for all your good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd just like to, I've been to, since the last council meeting, numerous flag raisings and celebrations throughout our wonderful community and region here. And I look forward to more I see on our calendar over the next little period too. So it's, Councillor Massey described quite a few of them very well. Thank you for that. And it's been quite enjoyable. I'd just like to take a little bit of time here to first off thank some of our water customers and neighborhood residents. We've had a little bit of a rash of water and actually water pollution piping ruptures or failures over the last little bit of period of time. And it's always, there's circumstances. The frost has really been a tough piece for us for this spring and coming out of the grounds. And so thank you to all those folks that have put up with some shutdowns and traffic diversions. But I'd also like to take a little bit of time for accolades and thanks to our staff and supervisors and our director and our support contractors that have put things back together for us the best we can for now until we get some chance to do some patching and paving. But thanks to everyone that got us through this little bit of a bump in the road. Thank you.
Excellent. I'll just comment on that too, because with these happening, I had a few comments about times where water gets shut off and notification happens after that. And so the question is, it sort of comes up, people get frustrated quickly because all of a sudden their water's off, they didn't know. And so it's just making sure citizens understand that, of course, our operations and waterworks department would love the opportunity to notify people and then shut it off. But when breaks happen, in order for them to protect infrastructure and not cause more damage, they need to shut off right away. And so then often the notification happens after. And we're really, once people have been explained to, they're usually pretty good about it, understanding why that happens. But it's also a good time to remind people that in Canada, the unwritten rule in safety is that you should have 72 hours of supplies within your home when it comes to situations like this. And sort of these last few things has sort of made me think it's something maybe our city or our fire department or whatever could help citizens understand what that actually means. maybe to know what they need to have. But yeah, I agree with Councillor Nichols. Everybody's been working so hard on these, but it's something when we have old infrastructure, things happen quickly. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, to worship. Transportation has nothing to report. I just would like to again thank Operations Department Transportation for the great work they've been doing on the roads. We've got a little bit of work ahead of us coming this soon. I'm not sure where they're going to start yet, but Crescent Road. So that'll be due from 12th to 18th. That's going to be rejuvenated. And I'm not sure, but if administration knows approximately what month are they plan on starting?
Yeah, Ms. LeQuij-Jobin, do you have a timeline?
I don't have that handy. It will be coming fairly soon, but I don't have an exact date for you as of yet.
All right, and so maybe when that comes up, we can communicate that to our community, because you know, we've still got people in school right now, and so it's a busy time of year. It's very warm out there. We want people to be very cautious when they're driving down the streets and watching out for that, especially when we start having to detour traffic. And on that note, I just want to remind residents, if you happen to see any big potholes, and I know there's a few around, still hiding around the corner there, don't forget to report those, and so they get repaired and less damage to your vehicle. So that's all I've got.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would just like to mention that the relocation of the Community Safety Office to the new Community Safety Office is now complete, located at 14 Tupper Street South, just behind us here. All the existing contact information, phone number, hours of operation, everything like that remain unchanged. But this new office allows our Community Safety Officer program to continue to provide that proactive safety services through the community engagement that they do, and then the collaboration with the local partners. So we are no longer on Saskatchewan Avenue. We are located at 14 Tupper Street. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. I would just like to congratulate Councillor Massey on his appointment to the FCM board once again. I think, you know, just from coming back from FCM, whether it's, you know, your involvement, whether it's, you know, Ms. Valentino's involvement, but whoever's responsible, I think all voices together, just the change in the rural parts of this FCM that I thought was really valuable and a nice change, because I remember my first FCM that I attended, that I actually came home and went, did I get much out of that, honestly? And so I think FCM has listened to rural voices, and I think it's been nice to see that change. And I know you will continue to lobby for that in your seat as well. And we had a great representation from Manitoba there at FCM this time. So it was good to see. And it's in Halifax next year, so. That is all. We will adjourn council at 6:48 p.m.